At speed, you can't drink and drive, you can't drug and drive. Not saying any of these boys have been doing that, not at all. I'm just putting it out there, you know, because it's the time of year, it's Christmas, it's New Year. Now you've got to be careful the most, you know, especially with people walking about, other people, you know. When you get in the car, you must think of them, be in a sound mind and competent, pay due care attention to everything you do. Again, condolences to the deceased's family. 2 young men should never have happened. AJ, God had his arms wrapped around you tight, you know, because looking at that crash, you're one lucky guy. And I'm pleased you're alive, son. I'm pleased you're alive.
When Oleksandr Usyk showed up at the hospital to see Anthony Joshua after the horrific car accident, this wasn't about courtesy or headlines. This was one warrior standing beside another after a moment that could have ended everything. 2 of Joshua's closest people lost their lives, and AJ himself was fighting through serious injuries. Usyk's presence spoke louder than any press statement. It was pure respect, the kind that exists far beyond belts, rivalries, or scorecards.
This is an unbelievable loss. Sina at Latif were 2 incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong.
John Fury's reaction to Joshua's crash hit hard because it was real. There was no promotion, no boxing politics, no noise. You could hear the shock in his voice. This was someone who understands the danger fighters live with and how close the sport came to losing one of its biggest names. The relief mixed with fear showed just how deeply this tragedy shook everyone who truly knows boxing.
The family, anything they need, you know, sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure obviously they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe. And
Eddie Hearn's response showed how fast life can flip. One moment, the conversation is about future fights and championship plans. The next, none of that matters. Even Usyk's camp immediately understood this wasn't business anymore. This was about survival, grief, and people coming together when the sport suddenly feels very small.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Joshua, future heavyweight Hall of Famer, has been in a severe car accident which killed 2 people. He is severely injured. He's still alive. There's footage out there of people helping Anthony Joshua out the vehicle. We don't know the details of what happened, if they was in a car accident, if they was just swerving around and lost control. We don't know, but my condolences go out to those who lost their lives. Hopefully it was just, man, a terrible accident. And also, hopefully Anthony Joshua will seek the medical attention that he needs. You know, check the everything, the head, the scan everything, x-ray, MRI, because we don't know if that could be internal bleeding as well. You know, adrenaline is pumping and you may feel like you're not okay, but you gotta check everything. But hopefully he heals well, and Godspeed. And again, my condolences go out to those that lost their lives.
When former opponents put competition aside to focus on healing and support, it reminds everyone what real respect actually looks like.
In car accident, 2 people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua, were friends of his, have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the 2 people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and family.
This tragic update revealed the full weight of what Anthony Joshua endured. Losing 2 close companions while fighting through his own injuries is something no champion trains for. The entire boxing world felt it. And seeing Oleksandr Usyk step forward with genuine compassion proved that brotherhood matters most when tragedy overshadows everything else. Frank Warren addressed the seriousness of the situation, but it was Usyk's personal message that truly stood out. This wasn't routine sportsmanship. This was human empathy. Even Jake Paul's response reflected a rare moment where the sport paused and refocused on what truly matters. Usyk's gesture helped shift the entire conversation away from speculation and back toward respect, healing, and humanity. WDE's breakdown of the crash painted a heartbreaking picture. Reports indicate Joshua's vehicle attempted a lane change before colliding with a stationary truck, resulting in the deaths of 2 close friends and team members. AJ was hospitalized but stable. The shockwaves rippled through boxing, bringing even former rivals together. Usyk, who fought Joshua twice at the highest level, publicly offered support, proving respect transcends competition when real tragedy strikes.
Was someone in the stationary truck? I'm not sure about that, so I'm not going to report on that, but the truck was stationary. And Anthony Joshua's SUV struck the station.
Joe Rogan's commentary sparked debate, but beneath the speculation was a sobering truth. This accident could have been even worse. Footage and reports showed Joshua being helped from the wreckage after the fatal collision in Nigeria. 2 lives lost. AJ injured and hospitalized. In those moments, rivalry disappeared. Usyk's public message of strength and condolences reminded everyone that empathy matters more than theories when lives are shaken.
2 officials in Nigeria, they ran into a stationary truck while trying to change lanes on the roads. Just a horrific accident. I don't want to start, assigning blame to something that I don't have.
Resonated most with fans was compassion. Watching Anthony Joshua pulled from the wreckage made it clear this wasn't just another news story. 2 people were gone, and a world champion was fighting through trauma.
Thank God he didn't have a seatbelt on. I never say that. Thank God he didn't have a fucking seatbelt on, because if he did,
there's no way.
He would be dead.
That's why Usyk's outreach carried such weight. After sharing the ring at boxing's highest level, he chose humanity over rivalry. In that moment, boxing became about respect, loss, and the reminder that life is far more fragile than any fight.
That there was an accident at 9:30 a.m. local time, 8:30 our time, involving 2 vehicles in which 2 people have died, and Anthony Joshua has received minor injuries and he's been taken to hospital. So eyewitnesses say Joshua was in a Lexus SUV with 3 other passengers, and he was involved in an accident in which that Lexus collided with a truck that was stationary at the time. And there are videos online of a shaken Joshua being taken out of the car. So local police have confirmed that Joshua has suffered minor injuries, but that 2 people have died.